Thanks for coming and joining us again for today. We had a few technical difficulties, but let's get this going. Today's topic is going to be about the Expos, Montreal Expos. Are they ready to come back for another comeback? Now let's go. So on this episode of East Coast Blue Jays, it's all about the Montreal Expos. Are they coming back? The history, when the 1994 unfortunate events for the Expos with the big lockout. But with no further ado, how you doing tonight, Dad?
I'm doing great tonight, Pat.
Good, good. I'm glad you're coming in with us tonight. And what do you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about the past Blue Jay Expos. Yeah, how everything went.
Yeah. So, do you remember watching the Expos or?
Yep, I do remember watching some of the games.
All right. So your
It was
voice is good tonight, Dad. I can hear you loud and clear.
good,
All
good.
right. That's good news.
Yes, one thing's working right.
Yeah, we had a little rough going there earlier, but we were supposed to have Jeremy Harrison tonight with us, but he had some problems. So it's just my dad and me talking about the Montreal Expos and the unfortunate events that they had leaving Montreal.
Yeah, do you know why they left?
I think they left because I'm not sure. I think the fan base kind of went down. I'm not sure. Why was
Well,
the reason?
well, I tell you why. Because in '94 they left because of a strike. They had a strike at the Expos, and everybody was all angered and upset, and the players too. And and that's why they left because the next year they just ran out of money.
Mm, yeah, that's right. It was the '94 season. Um, it was supposed to be their year.
Yeah,
It was they were 74-40 that year.
and in first place too.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see here. What happened in 1994? The Expos. So Monday is the anniversary was it the darkest? They call it the darkest days of the Montreal Expos fans. On August 12th, 1994, the first full day of the Major League Baseball strike started. It also ended the Expos' run at first place in the league and potentially run to the World Series. So yeah, so as far as it was August 12th in '94, MLB went on a lockout. So
Yeah,
it was just unfortunate for the team that they went on strike because they were 34 games ahead or they were 34 games over 500 that year.
yeah, they're awesome.
So it was quite disappointing for the players and everybody. But what can you do? Now, do you know? So they left in what 2005, right?
Yeah, yeah. And during that year, '94, they were the second lowest paid team in the East. Do you know what their average player salary was? Do you have an idea? It was
40 grand.
18. It was 18,000.
Eight.
$18,955. That's what their average salary was, and the players were getting upset about it, and
Hmm.
it just drove everybody crazy. Then,
Yeah, they had a lot of good players.
yeah, they did. You know who the famous player for the Expo was?
Well, there was a few of them. One was Randy Johnson was one.
Yeah,
Pedro Martinez was another one.
yeah.
Tim
But
Raines,
who was the most famous?
the most famous. Vladimir Guerrero Sr.
No, it was Gary Carter.
Gary
He was a
Carter.
number. He was the number one player of the of the of the team.
Gary
He
Carter,
was
the
really,
catcher.
yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, and
He
do
had, he
you?
had all big bushy hair,
Yep,
like
all
yourself.
bushy pair.
I
Yeah,
remember you
he
used to have big
played.
bushy hair back in the day.
Yeah, they were all dressed like that. Couldn't afford haircuts.
Not if they're only getting $18,000 in a season.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. That year, the manager went to the club and told them we had to cut the salary down because they were going bankrupt because of the strike. And they said we
Yeah.
can only pay you around 18,000 or so.
Wow.
And
That's
the next year they lost their players and everything went bananas after that.
yeah.
Yeah, they were in first place overall.
I didn't know that. That's what happened. So in '94, the MLB went on strike.
Yeah,
Um, the Expos were having the best season of their
best season of
franchise.
career. Yeah,
They were 74 and 40. They went
yeah,
on strike. So how long did they go on strike for the remainder of that year? Was it
yeah.
how long?
Until they got it all. Yeah, it was the remainder of that year. Then they started over
They
again,
started back in '95 again.
but they lost half their players.
They lost half their players because of the Expos couldn't afford to keep things
Couldn't
going.
afford. Exactly, they were so far in debt that they just lost the payout.
Wow.
And and another thing too, when was the last game played? Montreal last game was played in September 2004.
Yeah.
That's the last game Montreal played.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I pulled that up too earlier.
Did you?
It was yeah, it was September 29th, 2004.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Expos played their final game in Montreal as the last out as has or was recorded. Here, let me see
Yeah.
here. I'm just going to bring that over a bit so I can see. But yeah, September 29th, 2004, the Expos played the final game in Montreal as the last out was recorded. A wave of emotion swept through the stadium. Expos fans, staff, players, and coaches. So yeah, they were pretty upset. So
Pretty upset. Do you remember when the Blue Jays played the Expos? The first time the Blue Jays ever played the Expo.
nope.
It was it was 1997, the third month, the 30th day. That's when the Blue Jays first time ever played the Expos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think they'll ever come back?
I don't think so because I think there's too much renovation to do at the Expo now. They've been neglected for quite a while.
They would have to build a new stadium.
Yeah.
And that stadium
Yep.
was called the Olympic Stadium. Am I
Yep.
correct? Olympic Stadium.
Yep. Olympic Stadium. Yeah.
And they played. Well, I know it was 60. Okay, when? Okay, I'm gonna stats here. See if I can bring up the website here. When do you remember when? Let me see here. Okay, do you know when they first was back in the league? When they started in the
Mm,
league?
no, I don't. To be honest, it
It,
has to be.
it was 69. As far as I
Yeah.
can see, team history, it was 69 to 2004.
Yeah. That's what I thought. It was around there.
So
Yeah.
at the time, Montreal Expos, they were our only ball team at
Yeah.
that time until the Toronto Blue Jays started up in '77, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we had the two ball teams, and
Yeah.
now
We had to.
we had the two Canadian teams. Now Expos left in 2005 or 2004, I should say, and 2005 Toronto Blue Jays were the only Canadian team left. So the
Yeah.
Blue Jays are our Canadian team now. I would love to see the Expos come back.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's.
what's that?
No, you're right.
I like to. Well, they don't live far from us, right? Like we're from
No,
the East Coast of Miramichi,
yeah.
and to drive to Montreal, you're looking at what, 8 hours, 9 hours,
At least nine hours. At least
around
halfway.
9 hours. To drive to Toronto, we're looking at around 19 to 20 hours.
Yeah. That's a long drive.
So, but we can always catch a Habs game, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I would love to see the Montreal Expos come back, but I can't.
No.
They have too much renovations. They need somebody to really. I know they've been trying over the years to get the ball team back to Montreal, but I can't see it happening. But
Can't see.
hey, you never know. They might come back. There's
They might come back.
somebody with big pockets might stir her up again.
That's right. Do you remember the mascot? I know this is a hard one. The mascot, he was there for 25 years with the Expo. Do you know what his name was?
Well, I know that the mascot is still around. The mascot is he. You'll see him at the Montreal Canadiens game, correct?
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
big orange guy.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
name, I don't know what his name is, to be honest.
His name is Yuppie.
Yuppie, yes, that's right.
Yuppie. Yeah.
Yuppie, yes, you're correct.
You've been there quite a while, 25 years doing that.
Yeah, Yuppie it was. All right, so let me say here the nickname Expo, the Montreal Expos, the beloved Canadian baseball team that left us all too soon in 2004, had a unique, exciting nickname, the Expos. But where did this name come from? Do you know?
No, I don't, to be honest.
No.
That's
So the story of the Montreal Expos nickname goes back to 1969 when Major League Baseball granted an expansion franchise to Canada's largest city. After much debate over what the new team should be called, the option included Les Voyageurs, Le
right.
National, or Les Canadiens.
The Canadian, yeah, that National.
It was decided that they would that they be called Le Expo de Montréal, or simply the Expos for short.
Yeah.
So they had a few names they suggested them to have, but that's what they came up with.
That's not a bad name, the Expos.
No.
I remember I was working in Fredericton when I was 17 years old when I first seen them play.
Yes.
Yes, quite a while ago.
Yes. I know the Blue Jays at times they will play at the Olympic Stadium, eh?
Yeah.
Like they'll play maybe 2 games, 1 or 2 games, almost every year. They'll play an exhibition game at the old Montreal Expos Olympic Stadium, and the reason why I remember that because I remember Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And did you know his father, Senior, played for the Expos?
I seen him play a couple times. Yes, he was an awesome player.
Yeah, so he played for the Expos too. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's one play I want to tell you about. Larry Walker was playing at the Dodger Stadium one year, and he was out in center field. I think center field anyway, and he was out there and he caught a fly ball.
Okay.
And he gave it to the 6-year-old, and he didn't realize there was only. He gave the ball to the kid, and then he had to ask for the ball back. He gave it back to him, and he threw it. By the time he threw it, the guy on first was already on third. He made a big boo-boo there, but that's the way it goes at the game.
You mean when a fan caught it?
Yeah. No, he caught the ball. Larry Walker caught the ball.
Yeah.
And he gave it to the 6-year-old who was out in the field.
Oh.
And he didn't realize there was only one out.
Yeah.
And there was a runner on first.
Yeah.
And the runner on first ran to third. And by the time he got the ball back, he threw it to third, and that's where he stopped him.
Oh man, that poor kid. Oh,
yeah.
the poor kid and the poor player.
Yeah, it was embarrassing for him, but he just joked about it later. He said next time, he said, "Give me the ball."
That's all you can really do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite a game there.
Yeah. You remember watching that?
I remember watching one game like that. I remember him being embarrassed out there and talking to the media about it. He just didn't know what to say. It was just, he said, "These one of these moments, I just kind of forgot where I was, I guess."
Yeah, it's unfortunate events. I mean, in the heat of the moment, you don't know what you're going to get yourself into.
Don't know what's going to happen.
So, yeah.
Do you know Do you know the players are retired? The five players are retired for the Expos in the Hall of Fame.
That's a good
Could you
one.
give me some of the names? Yeah, I got them here anyway.
I can
The first one,
I can certainly try. You want me to guess?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Um, Let me see here. Randy Johnson.
Yep, he's one of them.
Randy Johnson.
Jack, no, no, not Randy.
Not Randy Johnson.
Jackie Robinson's one of them.
Well, Jackie Robinson. He's um he's retired in every stadium now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and there was the first one I got here was in '72 was Gary Carter,
Gary Carter. Yeah.
and the next one was Andre Dawson in '84, and another one was Rusty Stubb.
Rusty
In,
Stubb. I don't remember him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he played until '79, and Andre Dawson and Rusty Stubb had the same number 10. They both wore the same number, well, in different seasons,
Yeah.
but they both had number 10. And Tim Raines, you remember Tim Raines?
Tim Raines. Yeah. He was.
Yeah,
I know he was. He was a good man on the base. What
yeah.
position did he play? Do you remember?
He played center field, Tim Raines,
Center
and he
field.
played till 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were awesome. They had an awesome team then. But that's what a strike does to you. It holds you back.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. What can you do, eh?
Yeah, that's right. And you know where the team is now?
I do. He's playing the Washington Nationals.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly where they are now. Yeah, they got a good farm team down there.
Mhm.
Yep. And how many years do you think Montreal played there
Where? At the
in
stadium, you mean?
Montreal at the stadium? Yes,
From 1969 to 2005, so that would have been over 30 some years.
35 years.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
Hmm.
And they would have went farther if it wasn't for the little strike that they had.
Yeah.
But it happens.
But at the same time, like it's unfortunate what happened, but at the same time, if you weren't able to survive a half a season, like less than a half a season, and
Yeah,
then go bankrupt after that, like
yeah,
it's like where did all your funds go?
yeah. Where's your organization?
Like you know what I mean? There's so like obviously the market wasn't real good for the Expos, and that's
Yeah,
probably a reason why the Expos didn't last and didn't get the opportunity to start up again.
yeah. But they were doing real good with the fans. They were averaging around 34,000
But
a game.
was that just the year of them doing well, or just what?
No, year after year, they averaged around 34,000.
Hmm.
They were really picking it up. And like
Yeah.
you said, the manager couldn't have been doing his thing out there.
But I guess it takes more than just bringing in people. You need to advertise. You need
Yeah,
to not only draw people in, but merchandise and all this other, you know, televised. You know, like that's most of their money they make is through media.
yeah,
So, but yeah, but a lot of these players that left the Expos, like they had a great career. You know,
yeah. They did. Yeah,
like I remember me and Pedro Martinez.
yeah,
He played like he. The Expos had a lot of great players.
yeah. They did. They
Yeah,
really did. I found out today that there was two people that played that was with the Expo, and one of them, they're both from New Brunswick.
really.
Yeah, there's one is an executive. His name is Murray Cook, and he was with them until '84. And you
Okay,
probably know this one, Ricky Cormier.
Ricky Cormier.
Yeah, he played. He was from Moncton, New Brunswick, and he played just 1 year, 96 to 97.
Huh.
Yeah, he just played 1 year with the Expos. Ricky Cormier.
Ricky Cormier.
Yeah, and he was a pitcher. So at least we had two people that's from down here that played with them. That was with the team.
Yeah, I don't really remember those lads, but Ricky Cormier, yeah, interesting. But
Yeah, I think.
that's back in my day. Well,
Yeah,
I didn't follow much of the Expos. I know you did that, but I didn't follow a lot of the Expos back in my day. Mind you,
yeah,
I was still wet behind the ears.
yeah. You were quite wet too.
I was still in high school.
Yeah, and we also have a fan tonight that's watching from Boys Town.
Oh yes, who's that?
Is Lucy Hart.
Lucy Hart. Hi Lucy,
Yeah,
how are you?
she's from Boys Town, and she said she'll watch it tonight. She enjoys it.
She'll try to watch us tonight. I know. Sorry, Lucy, if you can hear me. But yeah, we had a few difficulties there today, but finally we got on. We're one short,
Yeah,
bringing somebody on tonight, but it's all good. We're just here for fun. We're just here to talk about the Expos tonight. It's normally a Toronto Blue Jays page, but since it's their old Canadian baseball team that we lost, why not talk about them um, and bring them up and the history of them? So, but yeah,
yeah. It's good to bring them up.
hmm
We need to know the past, what's going on, and how everybody's doing.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe they'll learn from their mistake and come back.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so the Expos left, and then they went to the Washington Nationals, and the Washington Nationals didn't do much of anything. Still, they
No.
uh, they had a lot of great players on the Nationals, and there's a few I'm going to mention. One of them is Bryce Harper. He was brought up in the Washington National organization,
Okay.
and the other player you might know of that we tried to get at the beginning of this off season. Tried to get him in the tried to pick him up through a free agency. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, I'm
He's a big
not
name,
sure.
big.
Santaz?
No.
No.
We tried to get him.
Oh, and not Hernandez.
No.
Oh,
The very first one, he got a big fat check there, seven
not
hundred million.
Otani.
No, that was last year. I'm talking about
Oh,
this year.
oh, this year.
Yes.
No, I can't remember. I know so many players I played with.
Well, there has been a lot of free agency, but everybody remembers this free agency. It's I'll give you a big hint. He signed. New York Mets signed him.
Cobra?
Come on, you know this.
I probably knows it, but it's way back in my head somewhere.
His name is Juan Soto.
Oh my gosh.
Juan Soto.
You're kidding.
I swear he played for the he played for the Washington Nationals, and I'm surprised you didn't know that. I
No,
I
I was never thinking of him.
I thought for sure you would have gotten that.
No, I just walked around everybody else. He was the last person on my mind.
All right, see if I can find. He's even when he was playing for the Expos. Yeah, I don't think he was even born then. When he was playing for the Washington
No.
Nationals, they got they I think there was one game they all wore um, back in 2019 the Montreal Expos uniform. There was
Okay.
just the one game that they wore the Munch. It might have been a few, but I do remember him. If I can find the picture here, I'm just gonna bring it up for our viewers to see. Give me 1 second here. Right there. There he is. See if I can scrunch him in, put him in play here. So yeah, okay. Should have
That's
his.
awesome.
Yeah. So yes, there he is, Mr. Juan Soto himself. He is in Montreal Expos uniform.
Yeah, that's great to see.
Yeah, he was
Right.
just a young kid too at the time.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah. So that would have
No, it's
been
good.
back in 2019.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So somebody
No,
wrote
that's great.
some PH. Thanks PH for leaving us a comment. Writes, loved the Expos. I saw my first MLB game in Olympic Stadium. So there you go.
That must have been exciting for them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
It
mean,
had a it had a dome, didn't it? I can remember.
yes, yes. I'm pretty sure the exhibition. I'm pretty sure the Olympic Stadium was a dome.
Yeah, yeah, because I remember
I've never seen
watching.
a. I've never. I was never. I've never seen a game like the Olympic.
No, no, it was just the old pictures.
I would assume. Yeah, it is a dome. It's the Expo.
Yeah,
It's the Expo. That's the Expo. It's like a big dome. It's got the thing
yeah,
coming up.
yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, so it's a night when you're driving on the highway, like um, driving on the main highway. You can see
Yeah,
in Montreal Expo.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that was cool.
yeah. So I know when it was 67. Here I'll just bring it up right there. There's the dome. So yeah, it looks like the dome. They get the big dome, and then they had the cover on top, and they
Right,
had this
right.
thing coming up. And I assume they can take the cover off. I think that's
Yeah,
how it worked.
yeah. I remember in '67 that was centennial year.
Yeah, I think they can take the cover off, couldn't they?
I
Maybe not.
not.
I could be wrong.
No, I don't think they could then. They didn't have that much imagination then,
No, I
not
don't.
like today.
I don't think you were able to take the cover off.
Yeah,
I know this. I know the Sky Dome. Well,
yeah,
Rogers Center. The
yeah. I know how that works.
Rogers Center. I know the Rogers Center can open up. It takes quite a while for that to open. A good hour at least.
Yeah, that's neat. I really like that. They just swiveled right around.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Yes. Yeah.
No,
Well.
that was quite a stadium.
Yeah, that was a quiet stadium. Well, is there anything else you want to bring up with the Expos? Do you know? Do you have any more stats for me or any more info?
No, I got pretty well it wrapped up now. I would just thought I mentioned the two people from New Brunswick that was there at the time. I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of neat to see a Ricky Cormier from New Brunswick, Moncton,
Yeah.
especially our local man from up there. At least getting in there. At least he got his feet wet for 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, we had a good player. We had a few good ball players from New Brunswick that played in the major league. One was Matt Stairs.
Yep. Yeah. Remember Matt?
He's another guy.
Yep.
And Jason Dixon.
Yep.
He's a
He's
local
from
boy here in Miramichi.
he's from Chatham.
He's from Chatham. He's just
Yeah.
across the river from us.
Yeah. I remember when he used to pitch over there.
Yeah, I think he won Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
And he played for the Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah.
He played for the Angels, got rookie. I think he even made the All Star team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so Expos brings back a lot of fond memories.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have won it all the way to '94 year.
Yeah.
But
I thought they might have won it all the way. They were in first place and they just had the awesome players. Just like every year, one team's going to get everybody. Next year, they're down to last place again.
yeah, but what can you do, eh?
No, that's all you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I just thought I mentioned the retiree up there. I thought that was pretty cool to see them five guys in there.
Yes. I'm just going to bring up this. Let me see here. I'm going to bring up the Expo stats. see if I can pop this up. Give me one sec here. I'm
Yeah.
quite intrigued what I can find out about. My mouse is not working that great, but okay. Almost got a dog here in my mouse.
Probably.
All
You
right.
got two of them there anyway.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just pulling it up here. So the '94 division standings. You got your Montreal Expos. They were 74 and 40.
Yeah.
The next in line were the Atlanta Braves. Their record was
Okay.
68 and 46. So they were six games behind Expos that year.
Yeah.
And then they had your New York Mets, Philadelphia Phillies, and your Florida Marlins. They were 23, almost
Yeah.
24 games behind.
Oh, that's quite a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, they were really hitting the ball that year.
yeah,
And then the next year they lost quite a bit of players and everybody moved on and
yes.
they had to start all over again.
Have to start all over again. Yeah, that's
Couldn't do it.
no. But no, that's something else I like to bring up. Let me see here. There's other information too. All right. So, a few other fun stats. I think his name was Moses Alou.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Moses Alou.
Mos-
Yeah, I remember him.
Moses Alou. He was a good hitter. He had 143 hits in a span of what was it, 114 games. So he probably would have got over 200 hits that year.
Oh, easy.
And he had 22 home runs that year. So he probably would have got over 30 home runs.
Yeah.
And that year, Pedro Martinez played for the Expos, and he had 142 strikeouts. So he had a great
Yeah.
year as well.
Wasn't that the year he pitched 7.5 no inning and they got in a brawl? They got a big brawl on and he ended up with a no hitter.
Uh, I,
I remember that year.
was it the Expos? I think no, he
Yeah.
was playing for Boston. He was playing for Boston Red Sox, wasn't it? I think
I'm not sure.
I think you're talking about the brawl. That was when he was playing for the Boston Red Sox, and he threw the ball down, and it was against the Yankees. I think it was for the American League pennant, and one of the coach came out and tried to attack him. This old lad, you talking about the old lad, and then he grabbed
Yeah.
his head and he threw him down to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
It would have been a wild one.
Yes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. But I just wanted to bring up the Expos. They're a worthy talk about. So yeah, so 1967 to 205 is how long
Yeah.
the Expos lasted for. They had their chance in '94. Unfortunately, there was a strikeout or the lockout.
Strike, walkout, yeah, for the players. Yeah.
Lockout. And but yeah, they had a lot of great players. They had Vladimir Guerrero Sr. playing in that team.
Yeah.
They had Pedro. They had Randy Johnson. They had Tim Raines. They had a lot of great players. Great Gary Carter.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. Gary Carter was the most famous player on the team.
Gary
But
Carter. Yeah, yeah, he
yeah,
was a great quarterback.
yeah, he was.
He had the big bushy hair like yourself, eh?
Yeah, I need a haircut badly.
Badly, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the way it goes in the major leagues. You
Yeah.
never know what's going to happen.
Forever in our hearts, they say.
Yeah.
Forever in our hearts, the Montreal Expos.
I always like the sweaters.
They're nice sweaters.
Yeah. And the hats goes with them. You can't get it today.
Well, they're hard to find. They're hard to find. Maybe you can find one on Amazon,
Yeah.
but
Probably could.
sometimes you can find them at any sports store, but they're really hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You see a few in the stands at times with the Blue Jays there.
yeah. Well, I think we're gonna sign off, Dad.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you all for all our viewers watching in today. Um, but if you like our page, give us a subscribe and maybe a like if you don't mind. Greatly appreciated. But if that's everything, Dad, I
Yep.
think we're gonna call it a night. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're
Or
going to
do you
call
want
it
to?
a night.
Or do you want to talk about something else? You want to talk about the Blue
No, I'm
Jays?
I'm pretty well talked out now.
Pretty much talked to
I
Dad.
did I did quite a bit of researching today for the expos.
Oh yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
been so long. Eh?
Well,
It's
yeah.
been 2 decades.
Yeah.
It's been
It,
20 years
yeah,
since
it's been quite a while.
we had what'd you call him? Loopy? Not Loopy.
Yeah.
Loopy?
Youpie.
Youpie.
Youpie the mascot. Yeah.
Youpie the mascot. Yeah.
Yeah, he was with them for 25 years. Hard to imagine.
Yeah. And then Montreal Canadiens took him out of retirement and
Yeah.
brought
Put him in there.
took him in as their own. Eh?
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
That's good for the
It-
fans.
It's good for memories.
Good for memories for sure. All right,
Yeah.
very best. Well, thanks for coming in, Dad. Thank you for all the viewers for watching today. But have yourself a great night. Have yourself a
Yes.
great night, Dad. And
You too.
we'll
You
see
too,
you. We'll
Pat.
see you